Go. All right. So today we're talking about the identity shift that without doing this particular identity shift, it will continue to cost you time and cause you to leave money on the table. So this live is for you if you're done moving at a snail's pace toward your goals and you're ready to move at light speed and you're ready to cut time in half in achieving your goals and you're tired of feeling like you're spinning in circles and you're ready to be seen for your gifts and you're ready to receive recognition and step into the spotlight where you know you're worthy of having more visibility so you can be seen once again for your gifts and bring those gifts to the world for the people that you help and the impact that you're here to create. And you're someone that currently has an identity that is attached to emotions like unworthiness and feeling unsafe to be seen in your body. And it's causing you to not be able to receive recognition for your gifts. And it's also making you feel like success may be dangerous, or higher levels of success may be dangerous, or getting to your next level may be dangerous in your mind, in your body, in your energy, in your emotions. And it's causing you to take actions from your perceived limitations instead of your potential, instead of the infinite potential that you have available to you now. And in taking actions from your limitations, it's causing you to lose time. And you're actually starting to feel burnt out because you're taking misaligned moves. And the misaligned version of you that talks yourself out of opportunities is making business decisions. And it's costing you a lot of money, it's costing you time, and it's exhausting you. And it's keeping you in the frequency where you are once again operating from your limitations. So, I know that it's soul crushing. I know that it's painful to watch competitors with less qualifications than you get the notoriety that you deserve while you waste time in preparation mode, feeling depleted. And you feel trapped in your current identity and current reality while knowing that you're meant for so much more. And you're in the energy of frustration instead of flowing toward creation. And you're not moving fast enough toward your goals because your identity hasn't become an energetic match to the visibility that your next level requires. So it's causing you to bleed time, and your frequency is currently repelling the opportunities that you want. It's causing you to waste time doing busy work. Perhaps your days are filled with doing uh, mundane tasks that aren't moving you forward to your next level. And this is because your fears of being seen create a visibility wound that makes leveling up feel unsafe. So you stay small, you exhaust yourself, maintaining that state of limitation instead of using your energy for expansion. And your frequency is currently broadcasting, I am not ready to be seen, instead of it's inevitable for me to be seen for my gifts. And I know many of us, including myself, have tried to think our way into new identities. Perhaps if you think positive thoughts, you'll be a different person. Perhaps if you have positive thoughts, you at some level will impact your identity. Absolutely. Yet, positive thinking alone isn't enough to shift your identity, to become an energetic match to being seen for your gifts and to attracting opportunities where you can be seen for your gifts on a consistent basis. You have to get to the root of why those same thoughts keep coming into your head and who you are, about who you are and what you're capable of doing. And how those actions based off of who you think you are either getting you toward being more visible for your gifts, or keeping you hiding and keeping you from being the person that you can be. Excuse me. So you won't be able to become that different version of yourself if you haven't created that feeling, that emotional charge in your body where it feels safe to be that version of you that is already seen for your gifts, that is already stepping into higher forms of visibility, that is already being more in the spotlight. You won't be able to become that version of you until you feel safe becoming that version of you consistently, and until you operate at that frequency consistently. And until then, you're going to continue to waste mental energy on positive thinking, on strategy after strategy, especially if you are a coach, creator, or business owner. Instead of addressing the visibility wounds, keeping you from creating that magnetic presence and getting to your next level now. So don't you worry. because we're going to get to some good stuff in a minute. But I also want you to know that I'm not speaking from a place of judgment. I've been where you are. There's times where I have to pull myself back out of something that's telling me that I don't deserve to be seen. So I understand exactly how this feels. At one point, I didn't feel worthy of being seen along the likes of, leaders that I admired in my field. I wasted years in self-doubt trying to positively think myself into a new identity, and it exhausted me because I kept thinking myself into feeling worthy. And my visibility wounds and fears of being seen kept me in a frequency that felt misaligned. And I had to heal to get to the root of my unconscious thinking patterns that were affecting how I saw myself. And I had to change my self concept to already being the version of myself that was worthy of being seen and receiving recognition for my gifts. And I had to shift my belief to knowing. So there's also a difference between believing and knowing. So belief wobbles while knowing stands 10 toes down. And I say this over and over again because if you can get to the state of knowing that you deserve to be seen versus believing, that's a complete shift in energy. And how do you know how to detect that shift in energy? Well, do you believe what your first name is? Do you believe when your birthday is? Do you believe where you live? Do you believe what car you drive? Like, you don't believe in those things. Those aren't things that you're like, oh, well, maybe that just happened, right? You know when those things were. There's a difference in energy between believing and knowing that you deserve to be seen is something that you have to learn to embody consistently. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have issues, right? It just means that you're going full force, full steam ahead toward that knowing versus that wobbling on belief that you deserve to be seen. So again, I had to create a shift in my identity where I knew I was capable of being seen for my gifts and that I would be able to create a life that I was excited to wake up to. And knowing that that life that I was excited to wake up to was inevitable. Not just possible, it was inevitable. So I had to heal my visibility wounds that made my frequency repel opportunities for me to be seen for my gifts and made recognition feel unsafe in my body. And it was causing me to bleed time, bleed energy. So when you work with me one-on-one, we will upgrade your energetic blueprint to heal visibility wounds at the identity level. So this will help you become the version of you that feels safe being seen, and will help you shift your identity from finding safety in hiding to knowing that you deserve to be seen now. So one of the things that Nero's knowledge says, and I'll expand on this, is that we will create a box for ourselves. We all create a box. All of us say, I don't want to be put in a box, but we all subconsciously put ourselves in a box. We just have to be more aware of what that box and what the dimensions are for that box. So what do I mean by that? Your dimensions that you create for yourself are your self-concept. The self-concept is determined by what we know to be true of ourselves. And our accepted truth about who we say we are is determined by a number of factors. So our childhood conditioning, and Wayne Dyer says that we cannot be conditioned unless there was a part of us that accepted that condition to be true already. So at the identity level, it's about unraveling what those truths are and asking ourselves if the truths that we have accepted are based on energetic resonance at the soul level, which is something that you feel in your heart, or conditions based off of societal programming and the shoulds that we have abided by to be accepted and to avoid rejection. And many of us are also recovering people pleasers. So if you look at the book by Dr. Aziz Gazipura, Not Nice, he talks about something called your inner approval seeker. So often the shoulds that we live by are really forms of us wanting to seek approval by others to validate our own worth, our own sense of feeling like we can exist in someone else's world, right? So that's why we need to take note of our shoulds and ask ourselves what shoulds actually belong to us. And what do I mean by that? The things that we say to ourselves that we should do. I should look like this. I should be doing this. I should already have this. Those types of shoulds, we have to start asking ourselves if they truly belong to us and if they actually resonate with our hearts at a soul level, and if they are a match to the identity that is already being seen for their gifts in some sort of parallel universe, right? So ask yourself some of these questions. Are the shoulds part of your conditioning that you have? Or the shoulds part of our need to belong to something instead of being authentic to ourselves? And perhaps the shoulds that you follow, like I think I should look like this. I think I should think like this because this is the way most people think. This is the way most people think I should look in order for me to be seen as attractive. I should do this when it comes to how I speak. This is how I should show up because this is what is acceptable by who, right? Who says these are the things that are acceptable, right? Assess your shoulds because these shoulds create the dimensions of the boxes that we live in for our own self-concept, our own identity. And you can start learning how to create the dimensions of a box that feels good for you to be in versus a man-made box that you've put yourself in order to seek approval from others. And this will help you learn to be seen more for your authentic self and cultivate the identity that you need to get to your next level faster so you can be seen for your gifts on bigger stages and be in the spotlight, and shift your identity and energy from invisible to irresistible to soulmate clients, to soul aligned opportunities. You start attracting more opportunities that feel good for you at a soul level, where now you can have more time in the morning to be with your girls or your boys. I have children, so I have girls. With your children, with your spouse. Slower mornings, more intentional mornings, instead of waiting for the next opportunity to be in because you already have opportunities lined up and you're not worried about when the next one is coming. So I'm going to give you a few examples. I've heard a few of my clients say that they don't know if they have a look of a leader. And they don't know if what they look like has the look of success. And they don't know if someone who would take advice from them, or if there's someone that would pay them for their services because based on how they look. And if this is something that you've also experienced to some degree, where you're like, okay, well, what should I look like? What should I be like? How can I put myself in a position to be more visible when I'm not sure if I deserve to be seen? So, what do you think someone who is worthy of being seen as a success should look like? What should that leader look like who is paid for their services? What should that leader look like that's worthy of being listened to and respected as a leader? What should that leader look like that's worthy of receiving recognition? Are these shoulds based on societal programming of what is acceptable, of what is regarded as attractive? And are these shoulds based off of cultural programming and what you've been taught as acceptable in your home, in your culture? And again, how are these shoulds creating the box that you put yourself in for your self-concept, for your identity? And how is this identity that you are currently at either close to the identity that's already being seen for their gifts and feels safe being seen and allows themselves to be seen at higher levels and have more recognition and more notoriety without feeling like they have to hide? How are the dimensions of the box for your self-concept either supporting your goal or keeping you moving at a snail's pace? Because remember, we all create a box for ourselves to live in with certain dimensions for our identity. And we can create new dimensions for that box whenever we choose to. And you have to ask yourself, once again, what shoulds are in alignment with the version of you that's already living the life you want in some parallel universe? Okay, because as you continue to do that, you will start to flow toward the future self, the future version of you that's already living the life that you want to live instead of at your current limitations. And your body will start to learn to feel safe at that next level. And your mind will start to release the fears about, outgrowing the version of you that used to be before, perhaps outgrowing the people from that other identity that is no longer in alignment with where you're going. And your frequency will start to align with receiving recognition instead of repelling it. And you'll learn how to feel more worthy of being seen because you're going to continue to do these types of exercises and questions consistently. And you'll start to feel worthy of getting the visibility that you've always desired without exhausting yourself. And continuously doing this, you'll shift your identity from someone who hopes that they deserve to be seen one day, from someone that believes that they deserve to be seen one day, to someone who knows that they deserve to be seen for their gifts. Because you'll learn to heal the visibility wounds that prevent you from embodying the identity that is already safe being seen for their gifts now. So remember that there's already a future version of you that's living your dream life, and they're waiting for you to stop hiding. They're wanting you to start using your time, using your energy more efficiently to heal your visibility wounds and to overcome your fears of being seen. So you can be that heart-based leader that other leaders want to work with, that other bosses want to work with and admire and aspire to be like. And you want to walk in rooms where you command respect. Okay. Where you command respect. Sorry, I read a comment. I was just like, okay, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. You want to walk in rooms where you command respect. You want to create a life that not just benefits you, but your family, but your future kids, your grandkids. And you want to create a legacy that pays dividends across generations because your energy is aligned with being seen for your gifts and having more levels of visibility without needing to hide. And I'm sure you want to, at one point, travel the world. You want to travel the world and you want to eat good food. And you want to have amazing experiences while making an amazing and massive impact. And your time and your energy working in perfect flow with your desires because being seen feels natural and energizing. So I want you to consider working with me one-on-one so you can start shifting your identity to being seen for your gifts. And knowing, again, that if you continue to not be seen and if you continue to allow yourself to have all of these unhealed visibility wounds, someone else will be taking your spotlight. Someone else will be stepping into your position because they're waiting on you to do it. Your future self is waiting on you to do it, but nobody else is going to wait for you. Like other people are just going to say, okay, there's someone else that's already there. So the future version of you that's waiting for you to step into that version of you is waiting for you to catch up to your potential. And you don't want to waste another year, another month, another day being in the energy of maintaining limitation and bleeding time in preparation mode. Your unhealed visibility wounds are actually costing you money, and they're costing you time, and they're costing you energy. And I don't want you to stay in that position because I know how that feels. So reach out to work with me one-on-one so you can step into the identity of knowing that you belong in the spotlight and that you belong to be seen for your gifts. So thank you so much for watching my live, and I send you so much love.